Welcome to Go For Your Life. Thank you so much for tuning in and giving me your listening ears. Woohoo! This is a podcast for everyone, about everything, and it's to encourage, inspire, uplift you to go for your life. And it is presented and hosted by myself, Caro, and my sweet dog, Sparky. Give it up for him. I hope you're ready. Enjoy. Welcome back to another episode of Go For Your Life. And if someone knows how to go for your life, it's this lovely lady. Welcome, Annie. I'm so happy to have you.
Good morning.
Yes. So Annie is, I know Annie from the course that I'm doing at the moment, which I spoke about on a podcast before, doing an Ayurveda Diploma course to be a diploma, to be a health coach. And Annie is the founder and director, really. Can I say like that, Annie? Right?
I'm one of the co-founders.
Exactly.
Of Dru UK.
Yeah, amazing. And so I think last weekend we were together in the beautiful town of Wolverhampton.
Lovely.
I found the place a little bit spooky, but it made it even more special to be with.
It is called Black Country.
Ah, okay. Maybe that's what the spookiness comes from. But thank you so much for being here, Annie. And I don't know, we were just having a chat on Saturday evening. We went out to this beautiful, which was a really lovely and beautiful place for dinner. And then, you were saying a few things about Dru Yoga and also, your journey and how you got there and how you guys have been doing this for so long. I got so inspired. I thought this is really awesome to talk about also on a podcast. So let's start with, can we start where it all began, Annie?
Yes, well, are you sitting comfortably? Once upon a time.
Yeah, exactly. Once upon a time, there was Annie.
Once upon a time, over 40 years ago, there was a team of us who were students at Bangor University. And we were a combination of mathematicians, foresters. Mansuk is a scientist, cancer toxicologist, biologist. I've come from a teaching background, social sciences. So there was a team of us. And I guess we all wanted to do something really special with our lives, really. And Mansuk, who was one of the one of our key players, he really brought the spiritual side because he'd come from an Indian background, and his parents had really trained him with yoga and the real spiritual practices. So he brought that to the table. I brought physical education and movement, and Chris brought music and, again, a different approach to spirituality. John brought the environment, ecology, trees. Rita, she was a social scientist, so she brought, rights, being social rights for people and being fair, because you're very fair. Mm-hmm. We all brought, different tools to the table, really, gifts to the table. And I guess then we decided to stay together as a team, and we formed a motto. Our motto is, as a team, if you want to change the world, give people the tools to change themselves. But that's kind of was one of our, it's like a foundation stone. And I guess we were all committed in our own ways to want to help people, want to help the world. And so Mansuk had brought, because his parents had brought the art of yoga. So we picked that up and the spiritual side. So we really, built on that whole process. And then we all got trained in different ways, from nursing to osteopaths to, doctors. We all got different training to enhance what we wanted to share with the world. And we also started, Mansuk was a cancer toxicologist, so he particularly led the way with, we started a cancer centre in those days and a charity, and we started walking around the country and inspiring people to do different things and look at cancer in a different way and self-help techniques. And there was such a huge interest in workshops we were doing and what we were sharing that when we came back together in about 1985, we started then a Dru teacher training course in order, in a way, to meet the needs, because we've been traveling around the country, giving workshops and sharing about self-help. I think, a lot of interest evolved.
Wow.
So, yeah. So
how big was the group, Annie? How many of you?
I mean, if you're going 40 years ago, you're talking about 5 or 6. There were and then a second layer came in. Then we had a big second layer that came in around us, with us. So today, by today, we must be about 200 people around the globe, but a very committed team in Australia, in the Netherlands, big activity in Germany, all over the UK. And we've got centres in Scotland and Midlands, London, North Wales, of course.
Yeah. Wow. And did you ever think, like, if you look back now and you're telling me this story about the beginning, which is so beautiful, because it's also beautiful because you were students, and you were young. And I think also when you're young, you have these like really amazing big dreams and all that kind of stuff. Would you ever have thought, if you go back in time, that it was going to be this big as it is now? Because it's huge.
No, because I guess when we came together, we spent a lot of time. I think why I feel we've survived so long is that we really, our main the glue that has kept us together has been our spiritual aspiration. We're first and foremost, and as I was saying to you over the weekend, we are first and foremost seekers. Firstly we came together to for our own personal development and to use the yoga to understand it and to learn to meditate. I know my own story. I've always been a very fast-moving, very dynamic type of character. I didn't walk into a conversation. I cartwheeled. So so I've always been very dynamic. So I remember trying the yoga and going, woof, yoga, how can anything slow me down? At the end of my first class, I fell asleep. I went, what on earth, what is capable of slowing me down that put me to sleep? And then I was sold. I thought, wow, there's something about this that's different. I started to meditate, and I didn't notice the changes, but everyone else did around me. Suddenly I was slowing down. I was becoming calmer. I was becoming more confident. I was becoming more myself, more empowered to do what felt right for me as an individual. You have to remember, we're in our early 20s now. You're looking at a bunch of young people who are, so I look at the youth today and I go, is it possible for young people to step onto a spiritual pathway? And I'm going, yeah, we did.
I did.
I stepped into it. I established a yoga practice and a meditation practice, and I just saw.
And did you have already when you were in your early 20s, did you have some experience with spirituality, or did you have because I think some people also have like a resistance, like, what is this spiritual, stuff?
No, I had absolutely no experience of yoga and meditation. My background is my mother's was an Irish Catholic, brought up in the divide of the Protestant Catholic divide in Ireland, which traumatized her. It was a very difficult civil war situation there. And my father was not very active in any particular faith. So religion to me was something I'd always associated with quite a lot of I'll say the word aggression. Because it's coming from the Irish side at that point. That's what I knew. So I guess my whole understanding of religion was a little strange, really. So I the yoga, when I started doing yoga, I thought, oh gosh, this what I love about the yoga and that the whole lifestyle is it made me realize it kind of took all the barriers away. And I said, actually, we're one humanity. We're one people. It's not about religion. It's about us living together as a global family.
Mm-hmm.
And that someone like Christ, he was a prophet. He was someone who had wisdom, and he came here to help people love. Then it wasn't about religion. It's about someone who came with a mission to help people learn to love. And that, it helped me really break down barriers of what religion could be, to understand what the person, like in this case, Christ, was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
is that core group, the very core group of when you guys were in your early 20s, are you guys all still together? Like, are they still all there?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, totally. We're all going strong.
Wow. And did you ever, were there ever times where it was hard and you just wanted to give up and you're like, oh my God, man, we've been doing this for so long. I'm done. I'm gonna go do something else.
No.
Good.
No. We've had difficult times, of course, because, we're a yoga school in the middle of a very Western culture. So in our early days, don't say people really understood what, I'm talking to me here in North Wales, it's a very small community system here. So it's taken time. People have caught up with us now. Now people understand that yoga's not a religion and it's not a cult, and it's something that is anyone and everyone can do all over the globe, and you don't have to be of any caste, creed, color, shape, and size. And, it's refreshing. I feel today so many of the boundaries and set ideas of yoga have been dissolved, and having spent years trying to help people, I'm so pleased that barriers have gone and people are beginning to include relaxation and breath work and gentle movements, because it's going to benefit everyone, whether they're 6 to 96. They're all going to benefit from it. So it's been I've over the last 40 years I've seen such a change, in a global change. I've seen such a global change and a global awakening away. I guess I feel there is a change of consciousness. It's a funny dichotomy. I feel changing consciousness, people are more aware, but at the same time there's a lot of people more materialistic.
Yeah. It works both ways in a way, I guess. But I did like what you also said, and you said it now, and you said it when we were at dinner, and it made me think of what my teacher, because I'm Jivamukti yoga trained, and the co-founder of Jivamukti once said to me, like, yeah, but yoga business isn't yoga, and when you said, like, yeah, but we're spiritual beings first, and then we are business people, I think that's so powerful. And I just wonder, like, for you, do you feel like therein lies your success as well, because you are first and foremost spiritual?
Totally. So I guess there are 4 kind of basic pillars, and I guess like a table, there's 4 legs that I guess and I feel very connected to, and I feel we as a team have worked with over the last 40 years, that I feel have underpinned my ability to understand spirituality, not just as a yoga practice or a meditation, but for me, for spirituality to be alive, it's got to come off the mat as well. So that the first one is sadhana. So for me, we all have a sadhana, we all have a spiritual practice. Every one of us, first and foremost, when I wake up in the morning, from the moment I wake up, I'm connecting, I'm endeavoring to connect. I guess that word endeavoring, I like that word endeavoring, because I feel we do run a business, and what makes us different, I say to people, what makes us different, we do teach yoga and meditation, that what makes us different is that we are endeavoring to evolve. We ourselves as individuals are endeavoring to evolve. So one of the key things all of us do is that we all have a particular practice that we do, of yoga, of meditation, connecting with nature, feeding the birds. So there's a very strong spiritual practice that is core, because we are trying to keep ourselves centered amidst this ever-changing world. That's one leg. The second leg is we see the value of a sangha.
Mm.
And that sangha, the importance of, one